Hello guys, welcome back to this tutorial. So before we go ahead and deep dive into variables and what are they and what are the purpose of those, let's go to ahead and create a developer account. This is an account which we'll use to write our programs, and this is the place we are going to practice our various programs. Okay, so it's a free developer, pay any penny. It's not a trial version, so you can use as long as you want. It is provided by Salesforce for free for your learning purpose. So we have to search for developer edition Salesforce sign up. Then go to this link. Let's fill up our name. Fill my first name, my last name, email address. Job role should be the developer role. Company name, you can fill up your college name, or if you are working in any company, then fill that company name. Country, state, okay, postal code. Now you can choose any of the username that should be the valid username. So I will choose like info MIET at the @, Google @trail.com. So click on this I agree, and please this email should be the valid email so we can get the email without any problem. So let's click on sign me up. We'll get the email from Salesforce. So let's check our mail. So we get an email. This is to verify your account. This is the username. So go ahead and hit the verify account button. Click on that and it will take you to the Salesforce screen to change your password. So this is the place where you have to set up the password for your account. So make sure your password should have 8 characters, 1 letter and 1 number. So I'm going to set up my password. And confirm your password. Next question is what's your childhood name? So then hit the change password. So when you hit the change password button, it will take you to the Salesforce account. So I know that you will all be the familiar with out of the box features. So in this tutorial, we are going to focus on the programming side of the Salesforce. We are going to learn about Apex. So I'm now going to walk you through the out of the box features because that is out of scope of this course. But once you log in, this is the Lightning UI. Lightning UI, as you all know, that it is the newer version of the Salesforce. And if you wanted to go ahead and switch to the older UI, which is the classic, you can do that by click on this right hand side and click at the bottom. You can see that switch to Salesforce Classic. So if you go ahead and click on this one, it will take you to the older UI. This is how the older UI looks like. And if you wanted to, if you like more of the classic UI, you can work here. If you wanted to go back to the lightning, you can click the switch to lightning experience and it will take you to the newer Salesforce UI. So I will request you guys to get familiar with this one because this is the newer version. This older version will probably go away eventually. So get your hands around the Lightning UI. So this is the Lightning UI looks like. Now in this course, what we are going to do is we are going to write our program using a tool which is already provided to you by the Salesforce. You do not have to download anything or you don't have to any IDE or anything like that. You will use our developer console and that's where we'll go ahead and write our programs. So what we are going is we'll click on this gear icon here and this is the link to the go to the developer console. So this is the place where we'll write our programs. This is the place where we practice our Apex code and stuff like that. So this is how it looks like. Now first thing is there is a file menu. If you want to create a new Apex class or a trigger or visual face page, you go to file, then click on new, then these are the different things that you can do. What is Apex class and triggers, we'll talk all about that. So first thing is if you want to just create a class, just click on file, new and Apex class. If you want to create a trigger, just click on Apex trigger. If you want to create a new visual force page, click on visual face page. If you want to build a lightning application, you can click on this one. So this is a file page. Now if you want to execute some piece of the code that you have written, then you can use this anonymous window. So if you have written few lines of code and if you want to just set what test it, what the result is, you can write the code inside here. And this is not for the real time. Okay, real time you don't do execute, write code and execute anonymous. You basically create classes and stuff like that. But here what we're going to do is if you just have a simple query or you wanted to update something, you can use the anonymous window. So you write the code here, click on this checkbox, then hit the execute button. Once you do that, if it will give the result of your code, the output of your program. So the next thing is if there is any logs, you can review it under this tab. So there is logs tab. It will give you the test. This is for running the test cases, sorry. So the outcome of your test cases will be shown here. So if your test cases are successful or if they are failed, you will see it under the test tab. We will use all this once we progress. This is just an overview. Then query editor. If you want to write a query and want to see the result of the query, then you're going to write the query inside of this editor, inside the editor. Also, once you write the query, hit the execute button, the result will show up. So that's what the query editor is. So let's see, select ID, common name from account. So we have written the select ID, name from account, then you can hit the execute button, the result will show. So that's what the query editor is. These are the various result that we are, okay, sorry. This is what the result we are came as. So this is the result. It returned me the 12 records, the ID of the account records, and the name of this account records. So this is an SQL query, SQL query, sorry. Then problems. So let's say if you have written a program and if there is some issue in your code. So let's say if I created a new Apex class, this is the name of the class, test class, let's say. Then inside of this, you enter this semicolon and try to enter the save. You can see the error. This particular class is giving the error. It is telling that the extra semicolon. It's also giving the line number where the error is. You can just go to the line number 2 and you will see that there is something wrong in line number 2 and you can delete it. And once you delete it, you have to save it. Anytime you have to make a change, you have to save it. So in order to save, either you can go to file and click the save button, or you can just do control and S and it will save your class. Until and unless the problems are removed, so you will not be able to save. So let's say if there is an error in your code and if I try to save it, then what will happen? Then what will happen? It will pop up in this problem section like this, and no matter if you hit the save button, it's not going to save. So if your class is not saved or not, you can see by having this asterisk sign. So if there is an asterisk sign next to the class, it means class is not saved yet. Okay, so before you run your program, before you execute, you have to make sure that you have saved your changes. It There is an asterisk sign that means your class has not been saved fully. Okay, so let's say you create a class, you saved it, and this is in save mode, like this. This is in save mode. Like you have created the another variable. Now you have to again save it. The older changes are, but in order to save this, you have to again save it. Once you hit this file save, the asterisk sign is removed. Once the save has been finished, the asterisk sign is removed. So this is how you go ahead, and if you see, if you have, let's say, declared something and there is an error that will show up here. And so it tells you the type is whatever the error that it's line number 2 and what is the type of the error. So all this information. And now if you try to save it, it will not get saved because these problems exist. Until unless you solve this problem, you're not able to save the code. So make sure you save the code before you execute. So this is an overview of the developer console, and let's see if there is something, if anything else. This is for running test cases. Once we learn about test cases, we are going to talk about then if you want to execute on a Windows window, this is your to debug and hit the open execute an ominous window. If you want to look at the logs, you will see it here. If you want to see the progress, you will see it here. If successful test case, then it will show it here. If you want to run any query and wanted to see what the query is resulting in, that's what the query editor is. So this is just, I'll give you the little navigation around the developer console. And from the next tutorial, we're going to talk about the what variables are, how to declare them, what is the purpose of the variables, and all those things. So have a good day. Bye.